Good evening, all. We were on the subject of the voices, right? The voices, dealing with the voices, right? And I would like to share one more mechanism as we go on. If there's any more that I come across that helps, as I've been doing from my previous videos, I will share them with you, right? There's nothing to hide. There's nothing say hidden about anything or my journey or anything like that. So whatever I come across that's a little bit helpful to me, I share it and I put it out to you, right? So um, one of the mechanisms you could use, I say use, right, to deal with these voices is the Gayatri mantra, right? So those of you who are Hindus will know what I mean, and who do research outside of their religion will know what I mean by the Gayatri mantra, right? This mantra, it is considered as the highest mantra. So if you chant this mantra, you really don't have to chant any of the other mantras, right? It is in the Vedic way of life the highest of all mantras, right? And this could help to cut down or to silence or to I'm not talking about silence and people are talking about if you're experiencing those voices in your head, right? To silence or quiet those voices in your head, right? So it's a mantra that actually appeals to intellect and heart, right? Intellect and heart, right? So for those of you who do not know this mantra and you're having these issues and you want assistance directly from God, right? Directly from God in dealing with these situations, right? Not talking about asking any demigods or any perceived gods or anything. Directly asking assistance from God itself, himself, herself, whatever it is, right? You chant the Gayatri mantra to assist in this endeavor, right? Um, so as I say, about I know that in Hinduism there's this concept about you keep certain things hidden, certain mantras hidden. So you get christened when you was a child or so, you get christened. In Christianity they call it baptized. I don't know what they call it in Islam or whatever, but if there's a thing like that. But in Hinduism you get christened and the pandit give you a mantra and you are told to keep that mantra hidden, right? Keep that mantra hidden. That's between you and God. Now people choose to do that if they may, right? Lies between them and God or them and their pundit or whatever, right? But the Gayatri mantra was, in fact, the mantra I was given. I have no problem saying that out into the open because it is nothing to hide about it, right? There's nothing to hide about the Gayatri mantra. It's a simple mantra, it's a simple meaning, right? The meaning of it is simple, the mantra is simple, right? Um, so people could look it up and listen to it, learn the meaning of it, learn the syllables, and it can assist in this um, helping to quiet down the voices. Right, so we're talking about gossip and ill speaking others and watching our private and public conversations. Right, so on that topic, I would like to bring in into that conversation the topic of food, right? Food when it comes to so this is tying a lot of topics together, culinary arts and gossip and everything in one, right? So is kind of sociology helps with this as well, right? Blending of different disciplines to produce something new, right? um, so we're talking about ill speaking, gossiping, trying to refrain from those things, and we bring it in the context of food in it, right? So whilst we prepare food for people who prepare food, whether it's to sell if you're in a restaurant, whether you having a prayers later, right? Whether whatever it is, whether it's Ramadan and you're preparing food for Ramadan, right? For breaking fast, whether it is for Christmas and you cooking up a storm, right? What is your mentality when you prepare this food, right? That's what we're looking at. And whilst you're in your crowd and your circles, whilst you're preparing these things, these goodies, right? What is your mindset? Where is your mind? One, and two, what are you talking about with the people who you associate with whilst cooking these foods, right? So, is it ill thoughts that you have towards others while preparing these foods? Is it good thoughts you have towards others? So, the idea is to, whilst preparing food, to have basically just put love into your food preparation, right? Put in love into your food preparation. And by put in love, I don't mean like a romantic form of love only, right? Or that's not what love means, right? I'm talking about putting a universal love into that as well, into meal preparation, right? And by universal love, that includes, that basically means that you stay away from those ill thoughts whilst you prepare those foods, or ill words, ill speaking. Refrain from the ill speaking whilst preparing food, right? Because food is energy, food is how we sustain ourselves, right? Food is energy, food is how we sustain ourselves, our lives, our livelihoods, right? Our sense of self in a physical way is sustained by food, right? Until time comes when people could survive on water alone, air alone, whatever, right? So for the time being, we are sustained by food physically, right? So food is energy, right? Food is a source of energy. So we want to ensure that what we put into our system is not only physically clean, right? So physical component is only one component of this, right? Physical component of food in terms of cleanliness, in terms just like a person as well. Physical component is one, which is close to God as well, right? But we're talking about going beyond the physical and also looking into what our mindset is towards whilst we prepare our food, right? Because we don't want to be consuming our energy of ill speaking others. We don't want to be consuming our energy of gossiping about others. Because when you hand that food to somebody, or you share food, or you sell food, right? You sell food with that energy that you put into that food, and that food goes to somebody else, and that person consumes that food. It is akin to that person consuming that energy that you put out into preparing that food, right? So we just want to have a clear and as clean heart as possible, clean mind as possible during your food preparation, right? Put in, that's what it means when I say put in love in your food, right? Nothing else, nothing else, right? Simply having a clean thoughts, clean heart, put in that love into food preparation. If you are selling food, if you are preparing food for any spiritual activity, or just generally at home for your family and so on, right? So that's basically it. Bringing together that concept of trying to stay away from gossip, and and this applies also to whatever activities you're doing, right? But food is important, as that is the thing that sustains us, right, physically whilst we are here, right? So that being said, well, this is a short video. So that being said, we will chat in another video as the time go by. Bye.